video is going to be about how I make a capstan. This is about an 1820s, 1830s style capstan. This book is my reference material that I use for this particular thing. And here is the plan I will be using for it. It's always a good idea to have a template like this one for the circles. And on here you can see I've already started to make a couple. Here's the bottom, and here's the base on the bottom, and this and here are the two caps, if you will. They are this part here and here, and I'll make this part and this piece here later out of scrap. The center piece right here I cut out of some stock here, out of this stock right here, and this is as you can see, this is 3/8 inch piece, and I have it right here, like this, like that, right? There's a lot's cut out. I still have to make these pieces right here, these little pieces right here. They're called cleats, and I'll make a shape like this one that you can see right here, and I think it'll be like 8 of them, and I'll space them around that piece right here. I'll show that in a little bit. Right now I'm gonna go and cut out these two pieces. And I suppose I should say that the height of the capstan on these. Now, here's an example about how that should look. So the holes where the capstan bars go are just below shoulder height. Now, if we assume that this sailor is about 5'6", you would see that this pieces right here are going to be at about 4 to 4.5 feet above the deck. So that's why these two pieces together are an 1/8 inch thick, and this piece is a 1/2 inch. I'll make that 5/8 of an inch thick when this is put on here. In height, that'd be 5/8 of an inch thick. And then be making, that'll put the chalk or the holes for the capstan bars at about 4.5 feet off the ground when it's all said and done. Be back later. And here now are the 4 main pieces. Have been cut out, sanded off, and rounded. And I'll be putting them together. And I use carpenter's glue on this. Simple for the reason that when I put this down here, and I need to try and get it centered, with CA, it's going to stick right away, and I can't do that. I need to have some time so I can get this in place. And the same thing is going to happen when I put this in here, down in here like this. I have to be able to center that in this piece right here, and carpenter's wood glue gives me the time to get that in position so that it's right dead center. I know I could run off marks. We'll run a mark this way and try and line up the marks. Now, I've done it that way, and honestly, it's a lot of work for that little thing like this, and eyeballing it, at least for me, is just as easy, if not easier. So I'm gonna glue those 3 pieces together, and measure and start making the chocks. Now I'm gonna make this little piece. Just see this center piece here with square holes for the capstan bars. Here I have a circle put on. Now I've used the guides on either side, here and up here, so that I can draw lines across it, and it'll be 8 lines. Or I'll show you those after I get them done in just a second here. Well, the lines are drawn and the slots are made. Now this is basswood, so this area here and here and here, between all those, it's going to be pretty weak. And if you have to do any filing inside here to make the holes even after you're done, you risk breaking these off. So what I do is I take some thin CA, because it comes in thin, medium, and thick. Use thin CA, and you put a bunch of it on here, and you let it soak into the wood. Tap it a little bit and let it dry. And you flip it around and do the same thing. What that will do is it will strengthen these little areas in here, and it won't break quite so easily. I'm going to show you the piece pretty much as it's done. And here you can see the piece is done here. You can see the shiny part here. Well, that's the CA, right? And that's going to go, you can see I have the guidelines drawn out there. This is going to go in here like this. Roughly like that. It's not perfect, but this is just for the purposes of show you how it will look. You take the 2 top pieces. Now they're thin. Okay, these are 32nd inch thick. And basically you make a sandwich out of this, right? And you glue these together. And when they're done, it's not perfect, I know, but it will be better when it's done. Of course, you'll see it, but you can kind of get an idea of what those holes will look like when they're in, right? And then that will go on top of this piece that you see right here. Basically something like that. Okay. Get some idea of what that looks like here. And I'll make the chocks, and I'll put those in, and I'll make the decorative cap piece. It's a little angled piece that you see on here, right there. You see this little shallow disc here that's kind of angled off, and this little cap on top. I'll put those things on. I gotta make them and put them on. So, I mean, this does not have to be a very difficult thing to make. Kind of the hardest part is the cleat, these little things right here, to get them all pretty much the same. And when you hand cut everything like I do, and it's kind of hard, even with a saw. I don't have a milling tool. I don't use a lathe. I don't use a drill press or with a milling blade in it or whatever have you. So I'll be making those next, and I'll see you then. I have the rounded piece on the top right there, and this is on. Got little marks on there for where the cleats will go, or chocks, or whatever they are. Here I have one made, and I have several others here that I will be cutting out and shaping. And then we'll go around on those little marks right there that you see. Right, on the top, there'll be a little knob right on the top there. I believe I have a piece of dowel here that I'm rounding the top off on. You see it there. I'll just cut that off, and then it'll go right there in the center. It'll be glued down. And I'll be back when I have these all shaped and in, and that little cap on, and it should be done. Of course, I'll have to paint it, but oh, here we go. Well, that's a finished piece, just not painted. Just I think it's okay. Everything seems to be the way it's supposed to be. So I'll paint it, and that will finish the capstan. I was working on other items of on the ship as well. Here's one of the gratings here, and some of the ladders here. See, these two go up from the spar deck to the top of the poop deck, and there's 4 of them, like this one, that go to the spar deck down to the lower gun deck below it.